When millions of Americans see a total solar eclipse on Monday, they'll join the ranks of people throughout history who've been amazed and sometimes terrified by the standing in the shadow of the moon.
Science and Nature Specialist John Hollenhorst has more on a phenomenon that continues to thrill people and engage their scientific curiosity.
In a total solar eclipse, the moon moves in front of the sun and briefly snatches it away from us.
It's just so miraculous. You can't really describe it.
It tends to give people a sense of wonder.
We look to the sky for answers for all the questions that we have here on Earth. And I think solar eclipses as well as dark skies have captivated people for tens of thousands of years.
The earliest observers evidently feared eclipses. Some ancient cultures figured out how to predict them with uncanny accuracy. Socrates warned Greeks they could injure their eyes by staring at the sun during an eclipse. In 1504, Christopher Columbus used his knowledge of an upcoming lunar eclipse to scare a tribe in Jamaica. He said God would take away the moon if they didn't provide food. They saw the eclipse, trembled, and agreed to supply Columbus's expedition. Scientists have traveled to eclipses for generations. In 1878, Thomas Edison traveled to Wyoming for an eclipse, and a number of scientists climbed Pikes Peak in Colorado. Scientific tools still are trained on nearly every solar eclipse.
There's high-altitude balloons, there's chains of cameras, there's orbiting spacecraft.
Seth Jarvis of Clark Planetarium.
There's always something left to learn. So studying the sun's atmosphere, the corona, is really best done when the moon covers up the sun, and then you can see that very fine wispy atmosphere.
On August 21st, Julia Kamenetsky of Westminster College will lead one of 68 teams that will try to film a full 90 minutes of totality as the moon's shadow sweeps across the country.
The unique part of the eclipse that we're going to be studying in the Citizen Kate experiment is the solar corona. And it's really only visible during a total eclipse.
A century ago, a solar eclipse provided one of the greatest moments in science history.
It was a huge deal.
Earlier in the 1900s, Einstein had stunned the world with his startling theories of relativity. One bizarre conclusion was that light must bend around big objects like the sun because gravity warps the fabric of space-time. Sure enough, during an eclipse in 1919, scientists were able to observe stars that were actually behind the sun. Einstein was right.
Starlight from behind the sun comes past the sun, but because the sun is bending the fabric of space, the star appears to have shifted in its location.
Now, thanks to our modern mobility, almost anyone has a shot at seeing a total eclipse someday.
I think the rarity of it is what makes it such an exciting thing. I've never seen a total solar eclipse before, and the chances are this might be the only one I get to see.
In our region, for this eclipse, only Idaho and Wyoming are in the right place for the sight that made the ancients tremble, totality, a hole in the sky where the sun is supposed to be. John Hollenhorst, KSL 5 News.
John, thank you. Our new KSL TV app's loaded with eclipse stories. You can watch them anytime. The app's free. Once you download it, click on the Great American Eclipse playlist and check them out. John's done a great job with these. And you don't even need those eclipse safety goggles to watch the app. You can just watch away.